Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Supreme Leadership Summit. I am your host, Rachel Abba, and I am a supreme spiritual guide and courage mentor to highly intuitive people. And I'm in the business of supporting highly intuitive women in particular become bold and feel seen and liberated to step out into the world and create meaningful successes for themselves on their terms. And today we have with us Michelle Allman Esdaille.
Hey,
Michelle,
everybody.
welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Miss Rachel, how are you?
I am feeling incredible.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, I like
Absolutely
that.
amazing.
I like that.
Yes.
All caps?
Yes. So, everyone, welcome. You know what the summit is all about. And for those who are new, welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. This is a Supreme Leadership Summit. It's all about top experts on clarity, courage, and confidence coming together to reveal their superior strategies to feel worthy and realize the life of your dreams. And we are here to create magic, to break limitation, perceptions of boundaries. We are here to completely transform and create the reality that you deserve because you are worthy. And with us, our guest today is going to be taking a completely different perspective on this. And I'm telling you, I'm completely stoked and excited for this. So we'll start right off. We're going to get right into this convo. And I'm going to read her bio to you. Michelle Allman Esdaille is the proud founder and co-owner of The Hook and Company, a Toronto-based e-commerce marketplace for creatives to find and hire freelance artist managers, entertainment specialist. She's also an artist herself, artist manager herself, an artist strategist, consultant, industry speaker on the business of song, mental health advocate, and mindset coach specific to the creative space. Recently added to her roster, Michelle is, get this, Michelle is the only recorded Black female to own and operate her own sync agency in Canada under the business name The Hook Sync Group. Being privy to race and gender biases within the music industry, it is important for Michelle to create spaces that are built specifically for underrepresented artists that fall into the BIPOC, LGBTQ plus, and recognizes female community. To add to the list, Michelle is a Reiki practitioner and author of a collaborative anthology book entitled You Have So Much Potential, Inspiring Generational Healing and Transformation with 29 other doctors and practitioners. Talk about accomplished. Welcome, Michelle. Thank you for making the time for
Oh
us.
my goodness. Thank you, Rachel. And it's so interesting when you hear your bio back. You're like, really? Awesome.
You're like,
Me. I just like
yeah,
doing. You don't take notes sometimes, and it's really cool to hear that. So, I'm
you're in
blessed to
it.
be here. Thank
You're
you.
in it. You're in it, and you're being it, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're being that woman, you're being that accomplished, that ever evolving and contributing because you could build success on your own and just
Mm.
live your life and do, but what you're doing is in service to others because the industry, you've walked a particular path and you saw some things that didn't sit well, right? You
Mm.
saw some things that didn't sit well.
Mhm.
You're like, you know what, that can be better. And
Well,
not, go ahead.
I think that's well, it's funny because in terms of those that have been in the industry in comparison to myself, I still feel very new in it. But I've been brought up to be a real problem solver. I love results. I love team. I really love working with people. I'm actually one of those people that actually really enjoy people. I really do. And I think everybody has their amazing gifts and their talent. But most importantly, I just believe when you step into purpose, when you find purpose
Mm.
within yourself, you immediately, automatically step into service. You don't have a choice.
Wow. Well,
I don't know
speak to
if it's
that
possible
clarity
to do
piece.
purpose without. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just in nature to give. I really do. Especially when you're in a space to express, because expressing your speciality, whether that's just organization or if it's something more hands-on, something creative, automatically ends up benefiting somebody else. It really does. You can't just do a thing and be amazing at it. It's all about you, and you're the only person that benefits from it. Just doesn't work that way. And so this is why I really support people when they're ready to be in purpose, when they're ready to kind of remove all the outside limitations that people have kind of sat down on their shoulders or spread in their head tops, or they've gotten in their own way. As soon as
Mm.
they say, okay, I'm done, I really just I have this burning sensation inside of me to do something. I don't know how I don't worry about,
Yes.
but it's the why, because it makes me feel I'm here. I know it's in me. Those little moments, those seeds, give it to me
Mm.
all day, every day,
Wow.
because I get it. Like I
Yeah.
think, and I truly believe that's my gift, is identify purpose and to help support it. It may not be hands-on, but even a consult, a conversation, an identification of masterminding so they can open that idea up conceptually so they can step in it and feel good about it. I'm here for it all day, every day.
Beautiful. No, I love that because, definitely, I mean, you come from a place of service and a place of edifying, uplifting other people, and also in service to their vision,
Mm,
because you see that vision as benefiting the world, right? So you're ushering this
yeah.
gift out as like oh my God, you're like a vision or dream doula, aren't you? Like you're just like birthing this gift, this talent that is in this artist or in this person, and you're helping them to share it with the world, to share it with others in a way that also, brings joy or, in entertainment and fulfillment because they're walking in purpose, right?
I do.
Inspiring
I
others.
believe that. I 100% believe that. I love that. I love to see people look at themselves in the mirror and say, I did that.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Because we don't
yeah.
do We just don't do that. And I'm going to be honest with you, Rachel. I did not know this was my gift until I got here. I fought this gift in myself for a long time. Um,
Okay, I'm gonna
yeah.
ask, like, talk to us about that because you're
Oh
not
man.
alone. You are not alone in that, right? This whole thing of like, keeping it to yourself, keeping your cards close to your chest, not thinking it's a big deal or not even realizing that it's a gift, right? You
Yeah.
just think it's just you being you.
Yeah.
And you don't see the value, you don't see how it fits in the grand scheme of things. It's like, what difference will that make, right?
Mhm.
And that's the worthiness piece as well. And everyone has their own experience as to why they choose to navigate through life like that, but at the heart of it, it's like you were like keeping that to yourself and just living your life, like you were just minding your own business and just
And
living your life until, one day, where did you find yourself
mm,
when you were now able to say, wait a second, and that have that moment of reflection of, oh, seeing how the dots connected, and then
mhm.
accepting that this is a gift and it can be really beneficial in the world. And it's not only for me to enjoy. Right.
Yeah, that is a multi-pronged answer, and I'm gonna take you through
Because
it.
I know you can, because you're a supreme leader.
Thank you. I like it. I love it. I'm gonna receive that. Thank you. I started in corporate. I started working at the bank, and then I moved into more of a finance sales role,
I like how your voice
working.
changed there.
Did you catch that? So funny. Put on that hat. Into that space, and I really enjoyed it. I was very good at it. I understand how to receive from people what they're actually looking for, even though it's not said.
Mm,
I am very good at making people feel comfortable, and I have the art of communication in terms of explanation and transparency. And so, delegating information is probably one of my strengths from long time ago. Long
yes,
time.
yes.
So this developed, and I was good at it. I'm doing all the things. I'm doing it obviously for the job. And I don't know. I guess maybe just over time, I'm like, it just felt very mundane. I felt stifled. I
Mm.
felt a little like I'm not really doing anything. You know what I mean? Like
Yes. You're
it's
doing
not
the job, but
exciting.
it's like
That's it. I'm just doing a job. And so I started to kind of go out into the world, if you will.
dabble.
And yeah, I got actually intertwined or involved with a network marketing company. At one point, just looking for something else, the extra money, but yet something else, an extra
Yes.
skill set. And funny story, as much as, and I mean, don't get it twisted, the products were great, the team was great, but the enthusiasm to identify everybody that was in my team as gifted, as being available and able to achieve whatever your mindset was a new conversation for me. And so going to these team meetings, they would talk a lot about going outside the box and being,
Yes.
bigger than you are. And it was just
Yes.
like, huh. And so,
Interesting.
yeah, I think yeah, exactly. Because I
Yeah.
don't have these conversations at work. And I'm not coming home to have these conversations.
Yes.
My inner circle at the time, everybody was working. So it's not an, a
Yes.
conversation.
Yes.
And so this was something like, well, what's in me? What can I do? And I started to read a lot. I started to watch all kinds of motivational and empowering videos and conceptualize new ideas that I could instill within me. Something that would get me over and above where I was at, because I knew
Yes.
right then I had plateaued. It was just, the saying, most people die at 25 but live to 75. That's
Yes.
what I felt was happening to me. And I was just like, the mirrors, I actually saw the mirror for the first time.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, no, I can't do this. This isn't,
That's
no.
powerful.
Yeah, I thank you. And and
Yeah.
then I received that because that was the door that opened the rest of my life. And at that point, I realized I do not want to be working here anymore. I want to achieve something. There's always secretly, now that I can see the mirror, been a desire to do something more. What?
Yes.
How? Why? Because I need to.
Yeah.
I need to do that. And so this is, I started to, getting more into the networking side of things, and now stepping outside the box, meeting new people, having new
Yes.
real conversations. I realize everybody has this amazing purpose, and having those conversations was coming very naturally to me.
Wow.
So I was just like, I got to get out of here. And so when I started Hook, which was my doorway to, I'm going to do it, regardless of my family
I
was
love
not
that.
impressed
I'm just gonna go out into
at
the world and I'm
all.
just going to I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it. They're like, Michelle has lost her mind. He's like,
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
I'm
I
going to do
love
it.
it.
It's fine. No. And yes, I got she's gone. She's off her rocker.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how, but I didn't care. I just figured I trust. Just keep reading, keep researching, keep talking, keep shaking hands, just figure it out.
Yes.
But it was still safety net. It was still a very safety net for me,
Yes.
even though this was something I wanted to do, because I
Yes.
still had my own personal fears and barriers to get through. I did not believe when I went into created my business, that I still had leverage or I had a stage to stand on and speak.
Yes.
Going from sales and finance to music was like, who done it? Like, why? What's happening? You
Yeah.
don't, you're not in a band, Michelle. You're not an artist. What are you
You're not in a
talking about?
band.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But the company was a referral company. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take individuals who were already entrepreneurs or small business owners that were doing something that would support artists and refer them out to artists. At the same token, I believe that what small businesses are struggle with are the same things creative struggle with. And that's the
Beautiful.
ability to believe within themselves that they can accomplish a thing and get through it and find the resources to get it done.
That's the worthiness conversation again.
Right? And so I wanted to pair that. And that happened for about 3, 4, almost 5 years. And I was in love. got me to travel the world. It got me to speak to new individuals. It got me to realize within myself that I had something to share and I was supporting artists. And,
Yes.
I couldn't just refer a service. That's just not me. I wanted to sit down and understand who they were. So that
Yes.
referral meant something,
Yes. Yes.
like I just tried to go above and beyond because I'm customer service bred.
Yes.
And so that was my thing. But then I realized, well, I have to know what an artist does. So I took an artist management course. And then it was like, well, I want to know what other things that they do. And so
You're
I started
following the clues. You're following the
success leaves clues, 100%. And so I took all these different other master classes and started to just realize, wow, there's a whole lot
there's a whole
that
world.
I could be doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, took 6 artists on tour to Europe for 21 days, and after that, I've managed a couple artists since then. Like, all these things have culminated, but
Yes.
regardless, it always dove or I served somebody else's purpose because I could identify and see what was in them that could shine, that could do a thing,
Yes.
and
Yes.
these are where all my conversations stem from.
Absolutely.
Right? No, I don't know. Do you want me to break a little bit or do you want me to keep going? Because
Keep going. I'm listening. People are taking notes. Why are you
I'm a
stopping?
communicator.
Go for it. No, no, we're good on time, and I'm loving everything you're sharing because I feel as if you're taking us on, I'm taking me on a journey from, not really knowing, right? And then, there's a legitimacy piece
Yeah,
as well around, am I even qualified to do this? Like, I'm not in a band. I'm not like, who am I to
yeah,
even go, like, how am I even going from this industry into this industry? Makes no
that's it.
sense, right?
That's
But
it.
I truly believe, that, our purpose is in the realm of the unreasonable, right? Like,
Mhm.
there shouldn't be anything
Like
reasonable about your dream. Otherwise, it's not a dream, it's Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, it's
that. Yes.
so, you trusted. You didn't have all the answers. You didn't have the clarity at that time,
Mhm.
right? Yet you were willing to learn. You're willing to have conversations. You're willing to step out of your box, like literally out of your mental box, and you're
Mhm.
willing to risk. You didn't know
Well,
what the cost was going to be, but
well, I,
you,
I I was told some time ago that instructions to get out of the box are written on the outside. So you have to
I
find
love
somebody,
that.
you
Repeat
know.
that, please.
The instructions to get out of the box are actually written on the outside of the box. So the
Come
key
on
is to
now.
find somebody on the outside that can read instructions to you. And so
And
that was
follow the voice. Just
yeah.
follow.
Oh, don't don't get me started there, Rachel, about the
Ooh.
voice. Don't get it started
Mm.
because that was very key to me because I realized I never met myself before this
Talk
moment.
to me. Talk to me,
I,
Michelle.
that mundane, just you hit the clock 9, hit the
Grind.
clock 5, get dinner, go to bed. Like you're not meeting yourself. They say there's a difference between reaction and creation. The
Yes.
difference is where the C is, so you can see the difference. And so I wanted to stop reacting and start creating, but that meant I had to do something. Creation requires activation. It requires
Yes. Committed
what
action.
to do. Don't, and I really want to stress this to the people watching. This moment in time that I'm explaining came with a lot of crying, screaming, wanting to give up.
Wasn't
I am
pretty.
not, no, not at all. I am not a superhero. I don't have a cape. I just didn't say, I'm going to do it. And it worked out. It was not that. It was not that at all.
I'd like to
It,
meet that person.
I have yet to meet that person. I'm almost there though. I won't lie to you. There
The
were a
cape is at the
lot of
dry
things.
cleaners. The cape is at the.
It's, I can't afford just yet. Because the truth is we're human and we're kind of locked into a limited environment that gives us these ideas that really don't serve us. And so we have to remove these conceptual ideas to
Yes.
realize, and this is where I was leading, is that I have learned that I have all the answers. Every last one. You, doesn't matter the question. I 100% will always have the answer. It's found in the activation or the activities I choose to do. And then I'll remember that I knew them all along.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because I truly believe my spirit chose this avatar on purpose to go through this journey and
Yes.
experience the ability to remember that
Yes.
I'm everything.
You are equipped
A hundred
to
percent.
succeed.
A
Yeah.
hundred percent.
Yeah.
And I had to figure out language that removed guilt because
Guilt,
we do that. That is a trained
shame.
behavior.
Mm,
Yes. And so I don't use like right and wrong. I
no.
feel like that has a lot of negative impact on how I may see some of the actions I've done,
Yes. Yes.
specifically the ones in the past.
Mhm.
And so I use what served me and what doesn't serve me.
And
So
that
I
is
can,
something, let me just jump in right there. That is
yeah,
something I remember one of our earlier conversations. That was something that we unpacked a bit more. And to share that I now adopted that and I use that now because there was a
mm,
disconnect between what I know I meant
mhm,
and what the world hears based on all
right.
those layers of judgment on
Well, this is
certain like words and things. So because of Michelle,
it.
I now use that. And every time I drop it, I think of you. So I wanted
Oh, that's
you and everyone to
amazing.
know that
I love
I
it.
have now like purposefully, like on purpose,
Mhm,
switching out what works with
mhm.
what serves, right?
Right.
Because there's no confusion around serve.
No,
But
you're
there's a
supposed to
lot of
grow. It is.
baggage
Yeah,
around work because there's that, ingrained or like embedded judgment around what is good and what is bad. Like when you
yes,
hear work, you think what works, what doesn't work is what is good and what is bad,
that's
versus
right.
what serves you, which is really for the highest purpose,
That.
right?
It's an acknowledgement of self too, to
Yes.
yourself. Because if
Yes.
you can identify what serves you, you're getting to know yourself,
Yes.
right? And it also allows for room for growth because not what some things that serve you today may not serve you tomorrow. And that's
It's
okay.
not a forever serve. Yeah.
Well, let's keep it real. I pray to God I grow till the day I die, which means I have to be purposeful in the
Yes,
creation aspect of it.
absolutely.
And so, with that being said, what serves me today is not going to serve me tomorrow. But
Yes.
what serves me tomorrow is going to be even greater.
Yeah. And
It
doesn't make it
doesn't mean
wrong,
what, that's right. It doesn't
right?
mean
Like
what
it's just
serves
so
me
we hear
today
this, it's
is
not a
what
right or
it is.
wrong, or it's bad, worse. Like
That's
it's
it.
none of that. It is to be in the step you're in, is what I'm hearing. And what serves you today might not be what will serve you tomorrow, because tomorrow is a new game. It's a new,
A whole different ballgame.
we're
You haven't
constantly
met yourself.
evolving.
You haven't met
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes, so I love that. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, for bringing that to me, and now I have like my lexicon is growing, and I'm using it and
I
applying
love
it
it.
in new ways. And every time I do, I feel rich,
Yes,
right? I
yes.
feel like fed.
Like
It's like,
you're comfortable with where that is, no matter where
yes,
that is.
yes,
Yes,
yes. And like
absolutely.
it's two.
Get it.
It's a two-way, right? So it's like what serves you and what now opens the world wide open so that you can now become of service.
That's
Like
right.
it's,
That's
girl,
right. I feel you.
thank you.
You're welcome. And you know what? I'm gonna do something else with this if I can.
Absolutely, you may.
I want to tie the serving self time.
Go for
Okay,
it.
right, here we go. Because I also, in this journey, I had to identify that the, because there's some real stress moments I was having. And if I really sat down and thought about it long enough, I realized I'm technically really stressing myself out. There's not a lot, there's stuff happening, environmentally that's
Yes,
stressful,
yeah.
but it's my association to it. And so some of it is the past thoughts that I have, which
Hmm.
is a beautiful place of where regret lives. And then some of it is where I'm trying to identify what I'm going to do in the future, which
Yes.
is where anxiety seems to live. And so I'm bouncing between regret and anxiety and
Mhm.
starting to feel a little weathered and heavy. So I had to tell myself at one point the safest place on the planet is now, right now. And I
In
like
the
to
eye
do
of the storm.
I like to do 30-day exercises for myself. So when I come into a new realization, I say to myself, let's just try it for 30 days. It, it's again, it's the way I'm receiving it. So I don't feel like, oh God, a new change. I don't want to go through that.
The resistance is, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I say, hey, let's just try this activity of concentrating on where you are right now.
yes,
Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. Everything you're doing now supports your future and forgives your past. You're fine.
yes,
You're okay.
yes, yes. You're
The,
safe
re-
here.
the reason why I wanted to talk about time is because what made me realize is the true definition of time. Time is a measurement of movement. Time, if you identify a clock, which we all look at, has 24 hours in it, primarily because it was, deduced that it takes the Earth 24 hours to rotate, so-called hours. How they got the minutes and seconds, whole different conversation. Tune in another day. You have a month, 30, 31 days is based on the lunar eclipse, again, movement. A year is based on the rotation of the Earth around the sun.
Yes.
All these things are measurements of movement, meaning if you want something, if you want to control time in your life,
I know. Oh,
control your
talk to me.
movement.
Mm,
You can slow down or you can speed up. I know
yes.
I know right now if I follow the kilometers per hour in where I live, the mall would take me 10 minutes to get to the mall from where I live. However, I can speed that up. I can get there quicker by speeding up, or I can get there at a slower pace by slowing down. It's the exact same thing you technically can do in your own life in terms of your actions, your activities, your results. You can speed up, you can slow down, you can take new paths to get there, or the scenic route,
Yes. Yes.
but you control it based on movement, not based on the clock. So I like to tell people we all look at the same clock, but we all have different time. And your time
Yes.
is so specific to you. Your time loves you. It
Mm-hmm.
adores and appreciates you. You don't ever, well, if you can, practice. Oh, I should have had this already. This should have happened by now. No, 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 no. Time knows exactly how to respect your development. Time knows in order to give you a thing, you have to become a particular person, maybe to handle the thing that you truly, truly want. Which
Yes.
means as soon as you think a thing, yes, it is created, but it's created in time. And the distance
Because
between
we're in
where you
these
are
physical
today,
bodies too. Yeah.
oh yeah, we have to acknowledge where we are, dimensionally
Yeah.
speaking.
Yes.
And so where you are here today, based on what it is you've created in time, is that in between is the beauty of finding resources, people, and developing yourself in order to handle the thing you actually truly want.
I am so appreciating that you went here because this is something, often, I talk about collapsing time, collapsing time. People are like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? And this whole place of like living in those neighborhoods, right? Of like regret and anxiety.
Mhm.
And, sometimes it's so easy in the world we live in, and I've done this where you lament certain, oh my goodness, I stayed too long or I did,
Yeah.
I didn't have to learn that lesson like that, right?
Yeah.
Or that
Yeah.
lesson again, right? Like there are
Even
things that, could have been tweaked, right? If if
right.
I was listening, or not like being like digging my heels in for whatever reason, whether it be fear, anxiety, or, not knowing, right?
Mhm.
um but this idea of that your time, and what I'm hearing is it's almost like your time is rigged for you to succeed,
Absolutely.
like your time is your time, right?
It's your spirit's time to
Yeah.
achieve learn, to develop, to remember, to experience. So
Yes.
it's time. It's not
Yes.
my time. The clock is ours. The
That's
time
what,
is
yeah.
yours.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Time is yours for sure. And this whole thing of, and something that I truly believe and I've experienced myself is that there's a way that time flows when I'm in flow.
Mhm.
So there's a way the time flows when I'm in the world. And then you like go through certain hoops and it takes X number of years to get this. And no, it only takes X, these
Yeah,
rules, that's
yeah,
out like world time. But
yeah.
then there's that, what that flow of time that is for you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I've found that when I step into who I am and I receive all of that, and I'm standing in my power and in my autonomy and in my, accessing my gifts fully,
Mhm, mhm.
time changes.
Absolutely.
Right. And
And
the things that I imagine you've experienced this too, where the things that people are like, oh, it takes 5 years to develop, and it takes 4 years to, and you're doing it in a week.
yeah,
Because all the
it's
time that I was lamenting that I wasted, if only I had done this and that, then I would have, not, been 10 years ahead of where I am today. Time is like, no, it's been here all along. So the
Mhm,
moment you're in that flow and in alignment with that vision,
mhm.
everything attached to that vision is immediately available.
100%. 100%.
So
Agreed.
the regret and the anxiety, you're absolutely correct. It's like being
Yeah.
in that present moment, in that flow, and standing fully in, you have access.
It's a beautiful mind switch because
Yeah.
the truth is we need to calm down. We do. We are stressed out, wild up, and ready to go on every topic you list. And I don't know when we got here. I don't know when nothing was ever good enough,
Yeah.
including ourselves. I don't
Yes.
know when we got here. I don't know when slowing down was a bad thing. Not accomplishing a thing was a bad thing. And I'm using the word bad
Yes.
because sometimes not accomplishing a thing does serve you. It allows
Yes.
you to look at a thing, whether it's a personal trait, a character trait, a skill set, or you're not supposed to be doing it. Let it go.
Release it.
No, really, like I get Johnny's doing a great job doing it. It's not for you.
But you're not Johnny.
It's okay. Like, and so this is why like I love where you're going here with this, and thank you for receiving what I said because it is a little, this is why I said I need 30 days to practice a thing because I know we're creatures of habit. And I don't like
Yes.
to stress myself out to do a thing,
Yeah.
especially something I'm not accustomed to doing. And so one, I give myself permission to try it.
Yes. Yes.
And then I know by the 30th day, it's going to become a habit.
Of course, because
So
it takes that
it's
time
a
in the
trick.
world for the body to, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm tricking myself in essence
I'm
because
glad.
you know what I mean?
I'm
Because this
glad.
is,
Yeah.
I have to get through it. I have to figure out how to do this. I can't just say it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conversation happening and not a
It's
lot
your
of action.
subconscious. It's your subconscious mind that gets all in a flutter.
Yeah,
And so that is, a conversation with your subconscious to say, you know what, you've got an
yeah,
out. You're okay. Like we're good.
yeah,
We're
give it a
doing
try.
this. It's not forever. Like if you don't
Yeah,
like it, you can return. It's like the return policy at stores, right? So that you can at least be open to coming out of the box,
that's
right?
it.
If you don't like it,
That,
you can crawl back into the box.
that's it.
Like
Hey, by all means,
it's
you
still here.
already
It's not
have the
going
habit.
anywhere.
That's
And you'd
right.
be like, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
but I would encourage people, and I've done this for myself on multiple occasions because things alter or change as you go through the
Yes.
development of whatever
Yes.
it is you're doing, is to take a look at the thing that you created in time and laundry list some of the character traits of the person that owns and operates that.
Beautiful.
Because that, in
That's
essence,
helpful.
when you now kind of go back to where you are right now, and say, I'll try that for 30 days, you're technically already activating a character trait that is
Yes,
probably required in order to handle that thing.
absolutely.
So that build, that development, that cognizant effort is on helping you to get en route that thing.
Absolutely.
Therefore, time, you see how we just kind of be,
I love it. It's
don't let, remove my pulpit
yes.
from me, please. Remove my pulpit.
No, because you're talking about being in practice, right?
This is
You're in practicum, like you're living your life, as opposed to just like going through the drudgery we're talking about.
we
You're
want to live it. And some of that is really going, I've taken on some habits that I've been taught that
that
are
might
around
not
me
serve.
and don't serve me. And I'm frustrated. I'm tired of some of the ideas I've been working with. I'm
Yes.
tired with some of the activities I've been working with. I know I actually touched and felt this. I could make it happen.
Yes.
You know, there are so many, gave me this, I know. Nobody needs to give you nothing. You already have it.
Yeah. Just
You just gotta
activate
now
it.
stand in your space and say, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love that. And that is the takeaway for our audience today. If you've heard nothing else, this is something that you can practice, right? So this 30-day idea of giving it a try, right? You just keep the receipt. You can always return it, but just try it out, right? And being in that practice of, doing that laundry list afterwards, because a lot of who you're being, because it's about who you're being, right? You can do a lot of things, but if you don't step into that mindset of who that person is that does these things, right? Then you're just doing a bunch of things and you never see how it all connects, because you're talking about presencing yourself, like remaining present to how you're interacting with what's happening, you're observing, you're remaining curious, right? And you're following those clues we talked about, because you mentioned success leaves clues, and it does. There's a formula. Like it's not an accidental thing.
No.
Like success is not, you don't like trip and fall into success and sustain it. Like it just doesn't work
That's
that way, right? Like, come on, it's not a pothole. So
and this is personal success too. Like as much as
yes,
I mean,
it's not just about money, because people often equate
no,
success with money. And I mean
that's
well-being.
it.
I'm
Well,
talking
and
about
that
peace
is
of mind,
it.
having a sound mind,
Yeah,
having a strong, healthy body,
yeah.
really
But
being,
overall, don't I'm
yes,
speaking to every individual, anybody. Don't you want to say, I'm interested to know how great I can be on anything,
on
whether it
any
as a
level.
whole. And that's just maybe in communication. Maybe it's just on listening. Maybe it's just on understanding, or it doesn't have to be something grand. But these little tiny, these small attributes get bigger. They automatically flow into
They
something.
ripple. It's like a
That's
ripple
it.
effect it has. You
It's
never know.
beautiful. And so this is, and I found this out by accident. Okay,
She
again,
tripped and fell
and
into
this is
it.
no really because sometimes you just certain things get activated by need, by necessity. You know, they
Yes.
say, what do they say?
Yes.
Mother creation is something necessity
Oh,
or necessity
the
something.
necessity is the mother of invention.
That is like I got to a point where I'm just like, if I truly believe that my avatar chose this, sorry, my spirit chose this avatar for a reason, then
Yes.
my spirit has a design. It has a
Yes.
purpose and has a reason for it to be here. And I, in the process of experiencing what that is.
You're uncovering
So,
it.
right.
Rediscovering
I
it.
did
Like you're
not,
remembering.
oh, so we're back there. Exactly. So I'm here for the ride. I'm here to identify. I'm here to make miracles. I'm here to
Yes.
expand. I'm here to support and to love and
Joy is okay, people.
fun.
It's
It's
okay to
fun.
experience joy. It's okay to have
Yes.
fun. It's okay to enjoy the ride.
Don't let the world lie to you. It's like being happy is not narcissistic.
It's
Identifying
not
that you're
selfish to be
amazing,
happy.
it isn't. It's really good. It's intention. It changes things. But the identity of a thing is not negative ever. Ever, ever, never, never, ever, never, ever, never, never. You know what I mean? But be okay with
That's a
that
hook.
because you you deserve that. You deserve that. And I stress that, you know, thank you for saying the hook, because I stress that with the artists that I work with,
Yes.
because they, being creators, they're under heavy scrutiny of identification of judgment. And
Yes.
so they are always in a headspace of, I'm not sure if I'm enough.
Yeah.
And I love removing that because everybody's here for that particular reason.
Yes.
No, you have a direct connection to everything. And if you don't believe me, stop talking. You'll
Mm.
start to hear something.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty about hearing a thing is that the only way we can hear something is if it's audible. In other words, you can't even hear sound in, you can't hear sound in space. It has nothing to reverberate off. But yet if you stop talking, all of a sudden downloads, conversations, beautiful, beautiful answers pop
Yes.
in. And I strongly, strongly support listening.
Yes.
It's
It's a
just that
powerful, it's a
it's just
powerful
that easy.
skill and a powerful,
Yeah,
it's a superpower.
it is a superpower. Myself and my family
Listening
have
deeply.
big conversation. Oh yeah, we have big conversation, like
Yeah,
big
there's hearing and then there's listening.
that. And so be like reintroduce yourself to yourself regularly.
Beautiful.
You know, like really, because you're not the same person, especially if you're in a space of creation. And
Hmm.
again, I don't mean as an artist, I just mean the ability to really create every day, your day.
Yes. So you're
Don't
talking about
don't
being a
react.
creator as a lifestyle, as a way of
Absolutely.
being, as a, yeah.
Absolutely. When somebody snaps at you and your immediate reaction is to wild out, try creating a new experience. Like that, in
Yes.
a sense, is even something. You know what I
Shift
mean?
your
Like
perspective. Yeah.
that's it. That is it.
Take a step
And
back
it can get
and
very
just get
exciting
curious.
because you might actually discover a belief that you can. And
Yeah.
I'll leave the dot 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 to you.
Yes.
Can. And so when you realize that you can, and it is your design, and you that purpose, that gift of service will automatically show up.
I love it. Well, I mean, honestly, this was a meal and I'm full. Like
Yeah.
I am really, and I hope and my I really appreciate you
I
sharing this
appreciate
and
you.
going in
Um,
those, because this is not an everyday conversation.
no.
This is
It,
not an
it should
everyday.
be, but no.
It's not, it isn't. And I'm so glad that we get to do, we get to have this experience, this share this on this platform and able to share it with an audience. And this is definitely one that I would strongly recommend and invite you to watch and watch again. Rewatch this because there's so many layers to this conversation. And, in terms of that worthiness conversation, in terms of knowing your legitimacy, in terms of listening to the voice and trusting yourself and trusting that you have everything
Mhm,
you require in order
mhm,
to succeed, whatever way success looks like for you in this world. You have that in you. And if a thought comes to you and you think, oh, is it possible? The fact that it came to you and you downloaded that is enough for you
yeah,
to just receive it and hang on
yeah,
to it and know that you are worthy and you have every right. Like some people are like, oh, do I have it? You don't have no right to. No, you're legitimate. So, and you're
mhm,
here and you're
mhm,
worthy for whatever success you can create and dream up, right?
mhm.
You have access to
Absolutely.
those tools. Just leaning in with curiosity and following the clues is, and having that willingness, having that, courage and knowing that your confidence is going to be built and having that clarity of, even if you don't know what the purpose is, have clarity around your worth,
Yeah. Don't
right?
worry about
Start
purpose,
there.
my friend.
Don't
Yeah,
worry
don't
about
worry
all the
about
other
that stuff.
stuff. Don't worry
That
about those other
how,
two neighborhoods, right?
messy. Yeah, it's messy. You can't see a room through a keyhole, my friend.
Love that, and
Yeah.
so this is the invitation. And, Michelle has done an incredible job walking us along that path of, remembering ourselves. So
Mhm.
I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you taking the time to share. Is there any final words about any projects you're working on right now? Anything you want to drop?
And we're what
She's like, which one? What?
I know. I'm here. I'm working on something rather big, in terms of
Of course you
um,
are.
change of advocacy and policy with the music education as a whole throughout the various hierarchies, because it is one of the courses, classes that not only heal our students, but is not referred to as a career. It,
Yes.
and so we're looking to create more inclusivity, diversity, equity, and accessibility within education. I've been working on that. I am opening up new and exciting projects yet to come, especially for 2023, that support sustainable creative living, because
Beautiful.
we need to get to that space. I want being a music artist or being in music to be recognized as a career. It is
Yes.
a
Stop
career.
shutting those programs down in schools,
Please,
people.
please.
Leave the
You know,
music department alone and
yeah,
fund them.
and and again, just constantly having these conversations, especially with our creatives. I don't know if you noticed over the past 2 years during that COVID lockdown period,
Yes.
we all gravitated to music in
Didn't
some
we?
form or fashion in order to feel connected,
Yes.
to have it express the things we couldn't express ourselves
Yes.
in words,
Yes.
and just to relate to something that made us feel comfortable. And so I feel a lot of us are dependent on these individuals in order to
Every
kind of,
day. Every day, like
sum up our life,
where would we
sum up our
be in our
day.
lives without the creatives, right? Without those who, and you're right, the pandemic did bring that to light. And it was like a really satisfying told you told you so.
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
see, I'm not
Unfortunately, but
crazy, right? This is important. This matters in our lives,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, so I
Healing
love
our
that.
creatives is important. It's very important.
Absolutely.
So that way, that messaging reflects that healing as well. We're digesting it. And so
Beautiful.
there's that. But otherwise,
Yeah.
girl, I'm here for you.
And
I
I
am
for
here for you.
you.
I love
Thank you
working
so
here.
much.
No, thank you. Honestly, this was such a beautiful invite. Thank you for the consideration of having me here. I have such a beautiful story in my heart. I'm always excited to share it because I do truly, truly believe that the ability in everybody to
Yes.
do anything. Sometimes we just need a whisper or two. And the fact that you've got a bullhorn versus a whisper is just, it's phenomenal. You are needed. And
Oh,
I respect that. I appreciate it. And I love that. All the blessings to
thank
you,
you.
continued success to you and to everybody who's watching. I'm telling you, you can. Listen to the voice. You're fine.
You've
I
got
promise.
this. You've
Yeah,
got
you
this.
got it.
You've got this.
100%.
Thank you
100%.
so much for everything. And looking forward to many more conversations for sure. There's definitely
Yeah.
a requirement in the world for the gift that you bring. So I see you and I honor you. For
Thank
everyone else, please rewatch this and watch it again, and then watch it some more. Thank you. Continue with the rest of the summit. I will see you in the next
you.
video. Bye
Bless
for
you.
now.
Have a good one.